Hi, it's Cathy Cress again, and I am back with my new YouTube playlist. And we're talking about how you can get, first of all, the concierge client and how you work with them. The upper 10%. Go back to the last episode to find more about that. But let's talk about who they are, first of all. There's a surprising group of concierge clients that really no one ever talks about much, but the New York Times did a great article on it. And they are people like teachers, people like the people that run the subway systems. And what they all have in common, policemen, is they have to find pensions. And these people can afford concierge care. They can afford a geriatric care manager because everybody gets 401ks now. They do not get defined, so they're getting their salaries essentially as a retirement vehicle. So they're former professionals like doctors, lawyers. They're not in unions, but they made a healthy amount of money. And they're also union people, what used to be the middle class. And these people can sail down the Danube. I have a lot of social work friends who in New Jersey are sailing down the Danube because of this. So defined pension people and professionals are also they're not really in what you would call the upper 10%. I made $5,000 the first year I taught. I was an English teacher, and I thought I was making a fortune. But I would have been sailing down the Danube. Who knew these things? So they are those people, but they are also very wealthy people. Obviously, 90 to 95, very very wealthy. 95 and above, that's the upper 1%. They are the rarefied group. Donald Trump comes to name. So these people want exclusivity. The doctors, the professionals actually don't want that. They're sort of normal people, easy to work with. But the rarefied group want better service out of you, the geriatric care manager, and everybody, because it reflects who they are. That they are the entitled, wealthy person, and they want concierge care, which you've got to learn to give. And they have the money, they're willing to pay for it, and they're what you call well-heeled seniors. They white glove seniors. I was going to bring white gloves, but I actually don't have any. And they want white gloved attention, and that's what you need to give these people. Now, it doesn't mean you don't, give them the amount of care that you need normally to give. But at the same time, you've got to find them more rarefied services. Like I said before in the last episode, drivers, personal chefs, that's the kind of thing that they would rather have. They don't want to go on lift line, and wait the way everybody does. So what are the words that we use to talk about these people? Over-involved, under-involved. Does it ring a bell here? Donald Trump. I won't say anymore. Unrealistic, conflicted, angry, resistant, in denial, demanding, passive-aggressive, needy, disagreeable, on and on and on. Dysfunctional families often are these 10%. So what you're facing is dealing with someone who needs a concierge level of care, the private drivers and the private chefs. However, they're difficult to work with, and very often you find the dysfunctional family. And again, Donald Trump comes to mind. It's very important that you understand that you have a family therapy background, that you really understand family dynamics, narcissism, for instance, and that you really have psychodynamic skills to deal with a lot of these people. And at the same time, you have to have compassion for them as a geriatric care manager. So you have to listen carefully. You have to show compassion because they have fears. Back to Donald Trump. His fears that, you won't like him. You can see that coming out all the time. And they have resistance to change. So you have to acknowledge their personal losses. In other words, you're a therapist or you're a geriatric care manager, and affirm their dignity, no matter who they are. and have the same compassion and approach that you would have with somebody in the 50%. So that's in general who they are, and we'll see you next time. Always go to my website, cathycress.com. Thank you.